no paper, no writing, nothing, and delivers the whole thing, and then says, let's try it again, and then he does it again, and the words will be the same, but the phrasing will be different. So it's more like an improvisational solo. You know, if you have a melody, you can play the same melody with putting emphasis on different parts of it. So he does it, it's not the same, the words are the same, or close to the same, but the feeling of it and the rhythm of it changes when he does it again, and he does it a few times, and he's like, okay, I think that one's good. I play the beat for him. He likes the beat.
I like the beat.
He says, okay,
the beat is good.
And he sits in the back of
I jam to the beat.
On the couch, and he's just humming.
The beat is good. It's got Sony got. Sony got.
And then he jumps up and says, okay, I got it. And he goes in, no paper, no writing, nothing.
If you're having game problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but a Twitch ain't one. Hit me.
The words will be the same, but the phrasing.
And then he's all like,
more like,
if you're having game problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. Hit me.
With putting emphasis on different parts of it.
Whatever.
So he does it, it's not the same. The words are the same, or close to the same.
Oh my God, you guys. This is so frustrating. I'm so glad that I ordered 2 new Bluetooth mouses. I like the beat. The beat is good. I jam to the beat. On the couch. Oh, come on, man.
As I say, 15 or 20 minutes.
There's something seriously wrong. I don't know. Let's see. Is my PS2 keyboard gonna, like, function? Alright. Fuck. That's so frustrating. Hey, can you tell? I cleaned my keyboard yesterday, or the day before, over the holidays. Like, this is like a... I used to use this keyboard back when I worked on that one program I uploaded to GitHub. I took it from work. I don't think I took it when I got laid off, actually. I think I took it before that point. I'm still going to take some Windex to the outside. Okay, motherfuckers? So don't call me filthy. I mean, unless it's my hometown. In which case, yeah, don't call me dope. Call me filthy. But, no, seriously. There's no fuzzballs underneath any of these, like, yeah, like, all the dust bunnies that I carved out with, like, a fucking crazy-ass dental pick that came from God knows where. Yeah, it's all a matter of time. Oh, of course I removed the screws. The 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. God damn. I should be streaming this. This is some pretty epic shit, man. But yeah, of course I lifted the keyboard off, you know, of the main, you know, mechanical, logic-based, motherboard part of the thing, Jim Jam, Jimmity Joo, Day, freaking doohickey, gizmo, PS2 port using 102 or 3 or 4 or 5 ASCII standard. No, it's not Dvorak. What the hell? Are you having an epileptic seizure? What is that word that came out your mouth, right? Dvorak? Is that your girlfriend or wife? Are you engaged? Congratulations. I'm real happy for you. No. I don't need a natural fucking wavy, curvy. I don't need a freaking... I don't need it to come in apart right at the middle. Like fucking it slices, it dices, even takes your keyboard and makes sushi out of it. No, I don't need a wave, like some kind of a weird time ripple, like, what fucking show is that, or comic book, where, like, if a ripple in the time-space continuum happens, you don't want to get caught in its direct path because it's going to end up scarring your face. Or like, well, anyway. Yeah, man. I'm pretty proud of myself these days. I got it going on. And I'm focused. I can still remember the epiphany I had while I was listening to Rick Rubin on YouTube. What do they call these things? YouTube shorts. Rick Rubin's on a YouTube short talking about the studio session with Jay-Z laying down his part of the song in particular with regards to the vocals, lyrics, and overall structure of the song itself, because I'm sure Jay-Z probably asked for some customizations at some points. He probably, that's the joy of being in the studio and getting produced, right? Because you can go, hold up, I didn't realize it when I wrote this like 10 years ago and performed it like 1,000 times on stage. Like, I didn't realize it until now that we're under a microscope in the studio, but I think I wrote this wrong. I think we got to record it more like this because it fits better, it flows better, it hits the ears better, it makes more sense, and quite frankly, it's got like a real commercial kind of vibe. Like, I don't want to say pop, but I just think everybody's going to like it more if I just, like, alter that one thing by, like, maybe taking those two parts out. Those two parts are redundant anyways. They're pretty much breath-catching parts. And, what am I? Some, like, I don't have emphysema. I don't have a fucking, one lung. I got two of them. I'm not on an iron lung. I only have to take a little bit of asthma medication. It isn't like I need a goddamn 30-minute albuterol treatment off a mist machine. No, just let me take 10 hits off an inhaler. It's not bad for your heart. You know what's bad for your heart? Getting it broken. That's what's bad for your heart. Alright, anyways. And now, if you're having game problems, I feel bad for you, son. But I got 99 problems, and it's okay. And so my epiphany was that at one point in my life, I was down on my luck, and just, I was owning it, and that's when I wrote, like, Narcissistic Nihilist, which was basically like a freestyle that I've got a few songs that are like that, just, freestyle music, freestyle ramblings in the form of lyrics, imitating singing. But I mean, hey, if people can use auto-tune and get away with it, I think I'm completely valid in my efforts in that regard, especially in a one-take wonder, make it up on some kind of like improvisational type of spontaneous, almost like a almost like an opportunistic optimist. Yeah. Oh shit. What's that? You did a narcissistic nihilist, but you think you're an opportunistic optimist now? I'm not saying I am. I'm just saying that is the converse. That is the flip side of the coin. That is, the thing to the thing. The 1 to the 0, the yin to the yang, the pussy to the dick, or asshole to the dick, or mouth to the dick. I don't know. If you think about it, those are all O's. And there's the 1. And then, at the end of it all, what is everybody saying? Oh. And if they mean it, they'll follow that with, you're the one. You are my number one. But no, beyond that, you're the one. Yeah. That's an opportunistic optimist. Oh, as opposed to the no, narcissistic nihilist. And I don't know if you know what an epiphany feels like. Some kind of a deep realization that maybe, just maybe, there's an opportunity as a conscious and cognitive and uh, uh, outgoing, proactive, and I would say energetic, but what I mean is able to able able. I can stop there. I don't have to say energetic. I can say able person. That's all that it is. That's it. And usually they're like that because they're pursuing something that's just gonna give them more fucking fuel for the tank anyways, you know? Like, which is probably like, in that scenario, if you're making music, opportunistic optimist, you're just gonna walk in and own it. Maybe in a spontaneous, Zen Archer-like moment, or maybe like a sports moment, getting that hole-in-one, or that slam dunk, or that home run, or, you know, that shot right in the goal, like from, or maybe like that tennis, you know, spike, that freaking overhand serve that just like totally aces, barely getting over that net. In fact, grazing it, it looked like, much like in a certain volleyball situation when you're spiking it, etc., etc., etc. Like when you're playing a fucking pinball table and you lay down a score that gets you in the top 100 players in the world, and then the next score you lay down gets you within the top 50 players in the world, and you realize, man, I've really come a long way. I wouldn't say I'm like enlightened. I haven't transcended this reality. And no, I'm not having an epiphany every 5 seconds. No. That would be neat though. Granted, you'd probably be either schizophrenic and you'd be believing things that are either hallucinated or not true, or that you're misinterpreting off the television or radio or the person you're talking to. That happens. And it's sad. And sometimes scary. Definitely confusing. But otherwise just saddening. Because I could do better. I'm an opportunistic optimist, and I can fix the most broken of broken because I'm almost close to fixing myself. I'm almost there. I've almost like I know I fucked up. You know, I don't have a whole lot of, like, I've been a 15-year opioid head because of that rollover where I got the brain trauma and the spine trauma. And I was, like, so close to, like, not needing any of that. Like, which is good because I ran out of the control medication. And now I'm living off of the breakthrough medication, which I don't think any chronic pain specialist professional would ever recommend for a patient that's been living with such a long, like, extensive problem. You know, they've undergone much therapy. Ultimately, just trying to have a predictable and controlled way of life. It's like when you put 50 cents into a soda machine, you expect to get a soda when you press a button, or you'll get a blinking light indicating that they're sold out of that flavor. And finally, a third outcome where if they're sold out of every flavor, you've got the eject chute slider to get your change, and more than likely a button if you're using a newer machine that uses dollars or, you know, cards. But, like, that's what you expect as a human, something nice and predictable, you know, where the rules aren't constantly changing, you know. But when you're using a short-acting form of opioids that hit hard and hit quick, last not very long at all, like your metabolism gurgled, because one, your body's craving it. Like every open alpha opioid freaking pore in your fucking body is screaming out at the same time going, feed me! And, it doesn't matter if you're really deep into a pinball table, really deep into like a movie, a crap, a fuck, a drink. Don't matter if you're spiking a fucking volleyball. Once it hits you, you're gonna start doing all the little things. Like, you're gonna notice your foot tapping. Tip, tap, 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 tap. It might start out light. Yeah. And then pretty soon you're like this. And then the other leg is going to be all like, oh, I'm jealous. I'm going to start to copy you. And then pretty soon it's like you're playing a double bass pedal, kick drum kit, and you're throwing down some awesome, rhythm, But then you start doing this kind of shit on top of the tapping. So you're tapping, and then all of a sudden you're like a tap dancing, what do they call that? A jitterbug? When you do that trick, that one dance that they used to do back in like the the Depression, those back in those great days. What they call that time period? The Depression. They did that great shimmy, fucking. But you're tapping your feet like you're Shirley Temple at the same time, trying to. But no, you're not going to do that with your hands. No, you're just going to slowly. I don't even know if I can work a camera right now. This should work. You just kind of you're doing this shit with your legs. Maybe you're playing guitar at the same time. Maybe you're talking on the phone. Maybe you're playing a video game. Maybe you're exhausted and you're actually falling asleep, but your body's doing that as you're falling asleep. And what do you start to do with your arms? Well, slowly, they start creeping inwards. And if you have a controller, you'll be holding it like this. And slowly your elbows are going to start to tuck in. And you'll practically be holding the controller with the back facing your face. And because you're because you're really, it's like a big muscle contraction. Like every fucking pore in your fucking body is just like calling out, saying it's in dire need of assistance, and the brain is telling you that you're the only one that can provide it. So put the fucking thing down, whatever it is, because if you don't, we're gonna make this worse. And then pretty soon, you're practically hugging yourself while you're tap dancing and shimmying, right? You're doing that number. You're like fucking doing like a chicken wing thing. Because really you're just focused on what you're focused on. And weird little glitches. And then pretty soon you're like, And as you start to do this, whatever the case may be, whatever's going on, whatever you're up to is going to be more difficult. The difficulty level is going to be increasing. So that'll be causing frustration in its own form, which is taxing on a person's stamina and mental well-being and otherwise tenacity, fortitude, etc. Okay, so as you're slowly but surely, somehow that's affecting your performance, and you start to groan like, but after a while, those sounds aren't coming from any stimulus whatsoever. It's actually like a feeling in your chest and in your stomach. Sometimes reaches as high as your shoulders and the base of your neck. All the way down to your belly button, the tops of your hips. And it really, if you let it get to the point where your entire being is screaming out, "I'm dope sick, help me!" That's when you're within the throes of detox, and either you're in a rehab center and you're getting ready to quit, or you're just you just suck at life because you're a natural born loser, and you forgot to take a pill. because you're used to having a 12-hour, you know, control for the chronic pain, and then the short-acting, you know, breakthrough medication is merely like your parachute for those times when the control medication is kind of coloring outside the lines. It's kind of going off the road. You know, it's kind of straying off the beaten path. You know, it's getting the 7-year itch. You know, it's looking to, like, it's fucking up, basically, okay? And what's the point in that? I don't know. Oh, I'm an opportunistic optimist. Like, that, all those little frickin' problems are just like minor setbacks, annoyances, hindrances, and otherwise things that ain't gonna kill the rooster. No way, no way. No, no, no. Opioids ain't gonna kill that guy. No, pretty much. And plus, there's so much suffering. I could think of like several people that have it much worse. And that's just a consequence of lockdown and the COVID shit. People are still recovering, having to do humiliating things, mundane things, or things that are otherwise beneath them, merely to survive at the level of comfort and quality of life that they are accustomed to, you know, doing whatever. Hey, you need it done? If you're going to pay me, I'll do it. I don't care what it is, aside from transporting drugs from one country to another using commercial transportation methods. Alright, no normal human would willingly do that unless they are either an extreme risk taker or just don't give a fuck anymore. They're basically like, I'm ready to kill myself at any moment anyways. I might as well pull some risky shit because it might just pull me out of this slump, this rut, this way of life that's just no good. But otherwise, you're probably going to be at gunpoint, maybe by like a gang member. And you know they're a gang member because they're not the only one with a gun, dear. Well, hopefully it doesn't get pointed at you. Hopefully they keep it there where they can, like, you know, they're basically like, no, you're taking the drugs on the boat, and then when the boat gets to Germany, you're taking the plane to France. And then you're taking the train to London. And you don't have a choice in the matter. Okay? If you don't do this, the consequences are basically the most extreme. So you have to do this. There's no backing out. Not now. Not later. And definitely not in the middle, because where are you going to go? When you're thousands of feet in the air, thousands of miles into the ocean, when you're going high speed down the rails of yeah, you get the picture, the ultimatum. So come on now. But if I was in that situation, I'd try to keep it opportunistic, try to be an optimist about it. The worst possible situation, because caving in and being like the I don't know, the negative nanny, the narcissistic nihilist, the nothing nigger. I don't know. What the fuck? Who is it? You bring me a drink. But yeah, the opportunistic optimist. That's who's gonna prevail. And I am the opportunistic optimist.